Hey, it's time to dish with D. That's me. Thank you for clicking on this video. Welcome to Vlogmas Day 18. It is Sunday, and today we are having gingerbread palooza. Not really a palooza. There's 3 gingerbread recipes to tickle your fancy. So if you're a gingerbread lover like me, you might want to try these. They're all one and done, so they're not anything that's going to be hanging around, because you know what happens when they hang around. We eat too many. At least I know I do. So I have an overnight oats. I have a gingerbread overnight oats, a gingerbread oat bake, and a gingerbread whoopie pie. Because, you know, this is what I thought of. So here's 3 great recipes coming your way. So let's go. Let's make a gingerbread oat bake. Let's go. In my bowl, I have a 1/3 cup of quick oats. I'm going to add my Flavor God gingerbread spice, teaspoon of baking powder, and a dash of salt. To that, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of unsweetened applesauce, 1 egg, and 1 teaspoon of molasses. One tablespoon of brown sugar substitute, and a glug of the gingerbread skinny syrup, about a tablespoon and a half. Mix, mix, mix. Bake at 375 for about 20 minutes, maybe 25, depending on your oven. While our loaf is baking, let's make a glaze. 2 tablespoons of powdered monk fruit, or any powdered you like, and any liquid you like. You could use milk, water. I'm using gingerbread skinny syrup, but like I said, any liquid will work. Just mix it to the consistency that you like. I like mine thick, so I didn't add a lot. Now when our loaf comes out, we're going to glaze it. She baked for about 22 minutes, hot out of the oven. I'm going to unmold her and let her cool, not completely because we want to eat it when it's warm. All right, now we glaze. And there you have it, gingerbread oat bake. All right, my lovelies. Sloppy on the side, but this is the side we photographed. So let's taste our gingerbread oat bake. Because you want it warm. There's nothing better than warm gingerbread, so I hear anyway. Cheers. Oh my God. That's amazing. Amazing. So good. Don't forget the glaze, because the glaze is a must. So winner, winner. I'll come back and give you the points. I should probably give it to you now. No. I have to think, because I think I used less oats than I thought I was going to use. I'll come back with the points. Points for the gingerbread loaf. 3. 2 for the oats and 1 for the molasses. I didn't realize a 1/3 cup of oats and a 1/2 cup, a 1/3 cup and a 1/4 cup are the same. I don't know. That's what the app says. So that's what the loaf is. The glaze is 0 because the skinny syrup is 0. And so is the powdered monk fruit. So it's a win-win. And it was delicious. Let's make some gingerbread overnight oats. Now I'm using 2 ingredients that you might not have. We'll talk about it when I use them. So let's get started. I always start out with a jar. I have 1/2 cup of oats. You could use quick, you could use rolled. Both will work with overnight oats. So I have a 1/2 cup. To that I'm going to add some chia seeds. Again, you don't have to add chia seeds if you don't like chia seeds, but I absolutely love them. And I just add a teaspoon. So it is 0 points. Brown sugar substitute. Now you don't have to add this if you think the skinny syrup is sweetness enough. I like this sweet, so I'm adding a tablespoon of brown sugar replacement. I am currently using Truvia Sweet Complete, which I absolutely adore, and I get it at my regular grocery store. So I like that in there. Okay, so a tablespoon of that. Now you might not have this. I have Flavor God gingerbread cookie. I believe McCormick's has a gingerbread spice. If you can't find either, I think if you Google gingerbread spices, you'll be able to come up with something. It's usually like cardamom, ginger, clove, cinnamon. So I'm just going to use about a 1/2 teaspoon of this Flavor God gingerbread spice because I have it. Like I said, there's definitely substitutions out there. Now to me, the star is this molasses. Now I'm only going to use a teaspoon because it's 1 point. I'm not measuring. I mean, I know what a teaspoon looks like. It's not a lot, but I don't hate to waste it on the spoon. So we're just going to put a little You'll see it is not much at all. Yep. That is what makes your gingerbread overnight oats. Even more than the spice is that molasses. Okay, we're going to add our milk because I want to mix this up a little bit. I am not using protein in this one. I don't know why, but I'm just not. So you could have 1.5 cups for 1 point. Oh goodness, I only have a cup left in this container. So we're just going to put all of that in there. I'm pretty sure it's all I'm going to need. But I do have an extra. I do have more milk in the fridge. Should I mix this up? Yes, I should. Here's my long spoon. I'll use that for the thing. I like using these teaspoons because it gets right to the bottom of the jug. And get that all mixed up. Dash of salt, of course, because you're, again, if you don't want to use salt, then don't. But I like a little dash of salt in my oatmeal. All right, non-fat Greek yogurt. If you don't like non-fat Greek yogurt in your oatmeal, then I don't know what to tell you because it's really important in this because it thickens it. And I'm using the Faye. You know, I love Faye. Faye was on sale, so that's why I got it. I've been buying the other one, but because I've been going through tons of it. So I always say like a third to a half cup. Again, it's a 0 point food. You can judge how much you want. I just kind of eyeball it. And we'll do 1 more scoop. And we'll mix, mix, mix. And this will thicken overnight. You think, oh, Dee, that's so thin. Trust me, between the chia seeds and the oats, we're not done yet. Because I'm going to use, now again, you might not have this, gingerbread skinny syrup. I'm using it because I have it. I'm just going to put like a tablespoon in there. I just think it has a little something, something. Because I have it. Do I think it's necessary? No, I think it's necessary. But I think your oats will be fine without it. If you have that, you know, you have the gingerbread spices in there and that molasses, you're good to go. All right. So there you have easy peasy gingerbread overnight oats. Points wise, you have to count the oats as 3 points. The milk is 1, is 4. So everything else, oh, and the molasses is 1. So 3, 4, 5 points for your oats. I don't think that's a bad number for breakfast. So there's your oats. We will have that tomorrow. All right, let's make a gingerbread whoopie pie because I got some stuff to use up and I've been in a gingerbread kind of mood this week, so let's go. All right, in my bowl, I have 2 tablespoons of the Kodiak Power Flour, but you can use any flour that you have. It will absolutely work. I think whole wheat would lend itself well. Half a teaspoon of baking powder. Oops, sorry about that. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'll just throw a couple glugs in there. And we want some monk fruit, 2 tablespoons. This is the same recipe that I've done for all my whoopie pies. It's not anything different. It's just, we're just going to season them differently. And like I said, you could also, if you think they're too sweet, you also could reduce the monk fruit if you choose. All right, we have our flour, our sugar, our salt, our baking powder. All right, that's all our dries. We're just going to whiz that up because we're going to make sure everything is nice and incorporated. Wet ingredient time. Now, if you don't want to use a whole egg, you could use a equal amount of egg whites, which, you know, if you happen to have them, that's what I really would use, but I don't happen to have any egg whites right now, so I am using that. An egg. Yogurt, 2 tablespoons. And some nut milk, regular milk, whatever milk you have. I happen to be in the coconut almond frame of mind lately. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use some of the Flavor God gingerbread. I think you can get a gingerbread spice from McCormick's. If not, I would say Google. This is a teaspoon, full teaspoon, Denise. You can Google how to make gingerbread spice, but since I have it, I'm going to use it. But I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure you could find something online. And since I'm going to put a little itty bitty of this gingerbread skinny syrup because I do have it. That's how I feel anyway. Just gonna teaspoon should be. I don't want to make it too wet, so we're just gonna do that. Let me double check everything: my flour, my sugar, my salt, my baking powder, my egg, my gingerbread skinny syrup, my spice, my yogurt, and my milk. Okay, my little chi-chi. We're just gonna combine this well. We're gonna go grab our mug, and we're going to spray it with nonstick spray. And remember, I did say you could put it in a ramekin and put it in the oven as well. I do have those directions for the, and yeah, I believe I have it on all the whoopie pies on the website to bake it. It definitely would work. I do like the texture that the microwave gives for that whoopie pie-ness, but like I said, if you're one that doesn't like to do the microwave, totally understand that. You absolutely can bake it. So this is definitely a recipe you could play with ingredients and cooking methods. I'm gonna go grab my mug, spray it with nonstick spray. We're gonna pop this in and microwave it for 2.5 minutes. Here we are, ready to put it in the microwave. Thought I'd show you. All right, let's grab it out of the microwave. I flip it right onto a dish. Usually pops right out. There we go. I'm going to have it cool completely. I'm throwing mine in the freezer because I want to film, but you absolutely can let this cool on the counter, but we're going to let it cool. We're going to cut it right down and make 2 halves. We'll come back and we'll fill this bad boy. Let me smell. It smells delish. All right, it is cooled. I'm going to show you how to slice it. I usually hold it up like this and get a pretty sharp knife because you just want to do one cut. I just want to go straight, or you can do it this way. This might be the easier way. You just go across. Did I cut off the way through? No, I didn't. Okay, we're almost done. Just a little bit more. There we go. And you have 2 halves. So I'm going to let this cool a little bit more because it's a little warm inside. We're going to make the filling while this cools. All right, we have our 4 tablespoons of light whipped cream for 1 point. And always check the brand that you use because I'm only counting this. Mine is only a point. I'm going to put a teaspoon of brown sugar substitute. Again, I like the grittiness, but if you don't like it, I don't think you need it. And I'm going to use a gingerbread Flavor God. I'll do a whole teaspoon. It's not very, I don't think it's strong as it could be. And I'm going to put just a little itty bitty because I don't want to thin this out too much of the gingerbread. Too much, like a half a teaspoon. Just combine. Again, if you don't like the gritty, then leave the brown sugar out. Or you can actually dilute it with your skinny syrup. Like that. Okay. Let's get our whoopie pie out of the freezer. Okay, our whoopie pie is out of the freezer. It is completely cooled. You just want to load your cream in. I'm just going to put probably maybe 3/4 of it in there. I'm going to put the top. I'm going to make it decorative, so I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to load that. Look at it oozing out the side, and a little dollop on top. Because, yeah, I mean, if you want to eat it with your hands, you might not want to do that, but I'm using a fork because we're just going to share this. Because everybody wants to taste it, because we all love gingerbread here. And top it with a little bit of the gingerbread skinny syrup. And there you have a gingerbread whoopie pie. Let's go over points. Oh, not points. Let's taste. I don't know. This looks so good. Again, do I think the gingerbread skinny syrup and seasoning are essential? definitely think the seasoning is essential. I'm not sure about the skinny syrup because you... Oh my goodness. Cheers, my lovelies. It's Christmas. Now let's go over points. I'm going to eat some more. The whoopie pie comes to 3 points. I have to count the flour and I have to count the whipped cream. And I use the Kodiak Power Flour. Any flour you have will work. And if you don't have the skinny syrup, you absolutely could put like a teaspoon of molasses in. I'm actually out of molasses right now. I probably would have put that in there. It will cost you a point, but you'll get that flavor without having to bite. If you prefer to use like a molasses versus a skinny syrup, you absolutely can do it. And a point to me is no biggie for something that substantial. Absolutely could use that. So, but like I said, if you go to your local store, see if you can get a gingerbread seasoning. I would think McCormick's has one. I said I'm using the Flavor Guide because I have it. But yeah, McCormick's, or go Google a recipe for making gingerbread seasoning. It's probably, if it says what's in here, I don't know if I could read it. I can't read it. There's probably clove and maybe ginger and maybe nutmeg and stuff like that. So you probably can make your own. So absolutely, it's doable. But they love the whoopie pie, so it's a win-win, and it's easy, and it's a great dessert, and it's so moist. So again, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed Gingerbread Day here at Dish with D. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Join us here at Dish with D. It is right down there, and we got desserts, low point desserts coming your way. New Year's is coming. We got some really big things. So if you're struggling on plan, check out my website, dishwithd.com. It will hook you up. I also have my original recipe blog, dishwithd.org. Tons of recipes there as well, all for you to peruse and eat. Who says? I think it was Mud Hustler. He's like a chubby boy. I eat like a chubby girl, but stay within my points, stay within my budget, and it's fantastic. I always find when you're using the sugar substitutes, you don't get that draw like real sugar gives you, like that pull and that you just want more. I find with these, it doesn't do that for me. So maybe that's why I had to stick with these. But I find every time I go somewhere and they have something that's made with real sugar, I tend to want to keep eating it. So because I think there's like for me anyway, so I just, love these things. So again, everything is at dishwithd.com. We'll hook you up with all the recipes when I get them uploaded. So hopefully they'll be up. Oh, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? What comes first, the video or the website update? Probably the video. So give it at least, if they're not updated today, definitely be updated tonight on dishwithd.com for all the written recipes. So it's been a gingerbread week here. So and there may be more coming. Need to get some molasses though. And a teaspoon is great. It's 1 point. And for your one and dones, it'll hook you up perfectly. So go grab some grandma's molasses at your local store. So thanks for watching. If you enjoy these videos, give them a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, join us here. Again, subscribe. And I will dish with you tomorrow for another Vlogmas. I think that's day in the life tomorrow. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.